I love my old Honda Enduro here, but let's clean it up a little bit. Make it look nicer.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Today we're going to be working on my 1985 Honda XR350R. I got this thing a while back, I don't know, a little bit over a year probably, and got it from the original owner. He bought it brand new in 1985 and aged out of it, I guess. Just didn't want to be kickstarting it. It didn't take much to get it going. He took very good care of it, but it has age on it, as you can tell. It's a 40-year-old bike. You know, we all get a little bit of age on us, but we can keep going. And I love this bike for what it is, but I would like to make it look a little bit nicer. I don't want to do a full restore on it, because if I did that, it would just be a garage queen, and I like to ride this bike. I just want to clean it up. I've been acquiring some stuff and waiting to get this thing going. So I'll show you what I have and we will get started on it. I picked up a reproduction headlight cowl here. The one that's on here, some kind of a enduro style deal that has built-in turn signals. It's cool, it works fine, but I like the way this one looks. I'm concerned that the headlight's not gonna be very bright, but we can work on that. This is actually a front disc guard. It's for a XR400, but I've modified it. I think that should work. Just be nice to have on there, kind of a period piece. I don't know if they make these anymore. This skid plate is not for this bike. I've just been holding on to it. I think I can make that work. If I can, cool. If not, that's all right. In here is a set of reproduction graphics, which will definitely be nice once we get that tank cleaned up, and the side panels. This ProLink one is in there as well. I have some frame paint here, Honda Flash Red, which is this orange red. It was a couple of years in the mid 80s. Let's see, what else do I have? The replacement horn. I think there's a horn mounted into that headlight cowl. I have a key. I may or may not install the key. Just be nice to have. A few other things. Let's see. I've got some high heat paint, so we could paint that exhaust. And I forget what else I all have in here, but I have already started one thing that I wanted to do. This thing had a Cobra exhaust on it, which was okay. Also kind of a period 80s exhaust, but it was kind of loud. This is an XR400 stock exhaust, which I've modified to fit on here. I started it up the other day. It's a little bit quieter. It's still not as quiet as I would really like, honestly, but I think part of it is that I need to get a new gasket for right here. But I just temporarily kind of mounted it, made a little clamp right there. As you can see, right there is probably our problem with the noise, so I need to get a new gasket for that. And I'm not 100% sure that I like this, but we'll figure that out later. The fact that it fits is cool. And if it doesn't work, we can put the Cobra back on there. One of the things that I wanted to replace also is this tail bag. The Honda one is kind of a blue one, but I don't have that yet. I love the way they mounted the turn signals into the bag. That's kind of funny. And they're mismatched. Oh yeah, I know I do have. Maybe this is it. There you go. These are kind of some knockoff CRF 450 style turn signals. They're supposed to be flexible, but they're not very flexible. These don't really fit with the 80s vibe, but I like that they're low profile, they're slim, and I think they were $15 for a set of 4. So we'll figure out a way to mount those up. And also I got this kind of 70s, 80s Honda knockoff turn signal, high beam horn setup, because this has a homemade dual sport kit right here. This is the turn signals, that's the high, low beam, that's the horn. All of it works, but If we rewire it into this, it'll just look a little bit better. Like I said, I'm not trying to stay 100% with the 80s vibe of the bike. Obviously, the overall vibe will be there, but you know, those turn signals are going to be a new style. I have these folding mirrors. But anyway, what we'll do to get started is we'll take the seat and the tank off of this thing, the side panels, and we'll give her a bath. All right, before we get started on the cleanup, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends over at Superclean who have sent me some more goodies here. We got the Superclean in the spray bottle and the aerosol one. They've been taking care of me for a while. They send me some products. I make some videos for them. It's a really nice cooperation. I have also got the floor absorbent from them in the past. That works great. And the wheel cleaner works great. So check them out. I see them at all these places. Reasonably priced. This is a really good degreaser, and it is going to do a great job cleaning this bike up. We're going to clean the engine. I want to clean the frame. And once I get everything cleaned up good, we're going to start taking some items off here. I'm just going to be doing a basic spray touch-up on this. I'm not going to take the engine out, but I can take things off. Like I can take the foot pegs off, take this shock off, move the wires, and then tape and paper around things. I'm not overly concerned with the frame being completely painted, but if I can touch up some stuff like this, the areas that you can see, it's just going to look nicer, and that's all we're going for here. So yeah, check out Superclean. They have also said that I can do a giveaway, so like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll do a giveaway in a future video. It's still wet, but it is much cleaner. Man, there was a lot of grease on this bike. I might be rethinking my whole process here, but and we're going to go forward. Maybe we'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, because probably what I need to do is research resealing this engine. I mean, you saw the before I washed it, there's a lot of grease up here. 40-year-old engine, seals are leaking, so at least resealing the top end is probably not a bad idea. I don't know how many gaskets are available. This is a 1985. It's a 1-year only model. So some stuff's available, some stuff isn't. But there was a lot of grease up there in the swing arm. Down underneath here, these old oil lines probably are leaking a little bit. But for now, that's good. You can see I removed the little factory skid plate. You can see how much grease and stuff is on that. We'll leave that off for now. I think what I'm going to do, just so that I get a feeling of taking a step forward, is I'm going to clean off these ProLink decals off of the swing arm. I'll hit those with the heat gun and try to get them off and clean that up really well. And we'll put the new decal on there just because it'll feel like we're making some progress. And maybe after that, we will work on that gas tank. That's something I've been looking forward to and dreading at the same time. These are reproduction decals. It wasn't exactly the same size, but that looks pretty nice. So we'll do the other side, and then we will look at this tank. Like I said, dreading it, but loving it. I was pretty concerned that those decals weren't going to come off very easy, but a little bit of heat and they came off nicely. Now, if we can get the rest of the tank to look like that, that'll be great. Very weathered here. There's still some dust on it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a little plastic tub over here. I'm going to put some water in it, and we're going to start wet sanding. I've watched a lot of different videos on how to clean these tanks up. I've seen people use buffing wheels with aluminum polish, all kinds of things, but I just think we're going to have to get some of this off of here. So we're going to try the wet sand. I don't know what I've got. I'll look in my sandpaper. Start with something a little bit coarse and then go down. And once I get it cleaned up enough, then maybe we'll try to polish it. In my stock of sandpaper, the coarsest stuff I had was 400 wet dry, but I've sanded about 15-20 minutes on this side. And I don't know how well you can see this black stuff in here. I don't know if that's going to come out. I don't know if that's little internal cracks on this plastic. I'm not sure. But I sanded this side, and I didn't sand this side. And you can see all this chunky stuff over here and on the front. And this side's nice and smooth. Now, in theory, once it's cleaned up and polished, it should look as good wet as it does dry. I mean, so if I get somewhere close to that, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. I mean, like I said, I don't want this bike to, look at all that crusty stuff. I don't want this bike to be too perfect. I mean, obviously it'd be great if it was a showroom machine, but you know, clean up the plastics, put some stickers on it, and a little bit of pss, 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 and we're going to be good. So I'm going to continue on with this. I also have these blocks. These are a little bit rougher, but I don't know as if I'm going to get this out of here. And my biggest concern is getting too aggressive on this, because like everything else in this bike, it's a 1 year only deal. So if I can get some of this stuff out, that'll be fine. If I can't, well, we're going to do what we can. I don't know if that's still adhesive on there. No, I think that's just the way that is, because that sticker was partially deteriorated. So we'll keep sanding that too. But if we can get to a glossy red or flash red or whatever they call this, we'll be happy. Keep going. Tedious work. Get yourself a cold beverage. Well, I don't know how good it's going to turn out, but here's where we're at after wet sanding it with 400, 600, 1000. We're going to hit it with dual action polisher here. Get the polishing pad and some polishing compound, and then some plastic polish. So we'll switch to that wheel for the polish, this one for the compound. Let's see what happens. Well, we're making a heck of a mess, getting polishing compound everywhere, but this is the first round with the polishing compound. Like I said, if you look in here close, I don't know how much the camera's going to catch it, but all these little micro cracking or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I want to get more aggressive on the tank, but then again, I don't, because these things are hard to come by. So I don't know how well that's going to show. Yeah, you can definitely see it in there, huh? All that stuff. And I don't know, heat gun, I don't really want to get aggressive with it, but it looks a lot nicer. So I am going to hit it with that Plastex on the polishing wheel, and we'll call this good, because who knows if I could get another one of these tanks. All right, I don't want to go any more aggressive on it than I already have. It's not perfect like 1985, but it's got a nice shine to it. Knocked out almost all that crusty stuff. Still a little tiny bit of it underneath here, which I'm sure I could get crazy on the sanding, but I think we'll leave it as is. If it stays this nice, I'll be happy. I guess we'll see what happens. I've applied some plastic polish and stuff to it before this, and it cleaned it up a little bit. Not as good as it is now, but the last time I put gas in it, I spilled some gas and it just turned it all white. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Try not to spill gas on it, but I'm gonna wipe this thing down and we'll put the new decals back on here. Maybe I'll clean this up with a little bit of alcohol before I put that on there. Hopefully it won't take all the shine off, but once I get the decals on, then we'll see what happens. Well, I think it looks a lot better. I think this side is better than this side, but just being cleaned up and those new graphics makes it look a lot better. I started masking stuff off and touching up the frame a little bit here. Like I said, I'm only really going to do this part that you can see, and I'm not getting too crazy about it. Taking a few things off and just using paper around it. But I think it's going to improve it. I took the foot pegs off. I'm touching them up with some Rust-Oleum black, and we'll keep moving. Oh, the exhaust obviously is off too. I put a few coats of high heat on that. It's laying right there. Let me put another coat on it. It's been a long day in the garage, and I think I'm calling it. I don't have any paint stripper, so I need to get some paint stripper. These are painted on. So I'm just going to leave that for now. I have the new decals, but these side panels are faded just enough where it makes the tank look extra nice. That decal on the swing arm looks good. My frame paint, not perfect. Probably looks better in the video. Didn't touch the engine, just cleaned it. Painted foot peg and the head pipe. Oh, the cat's approving. I stuck the new headlight on, but I don't have any of this stuff wired yet. There's that disc guard. I like the way that looks. This side of the tank doesn't look as good as the other side. Like I said in the video, it probably looks really nice. I'll just stand back. There you go. I put the original little skid plate thing. It's not really a plate, but the little crash bar thing, whatever you want to call it, back on there. The plastic one I can probably make work, but we'll worry about that at a later date. Painted that foot peg, painted the frame. This bike has got the coolest digital dash for 1985. It's unbelievable, but unfortunately it's cracked right here, and you can't get that glass. I'll figure something out for that later, but man, I like the way that original headlight looks on here. Good day in the garage, cleaning up the old Honda. Haven't really improved anything on it besides the looks, but it is a cool bike, so it should look cool. And, you know, enjoy a cold beverage when you're done. And that's not a PBR, I'm sorry. I helped out a neighbor fix the lawnmower, and that's what they got me. Thank you once again to Superclean. Hey, look, I got the Superclean banner in the background. They've been helping me out a lot on my channel over the years, and I really appreciate it. If you need a good degreaser, this is the one. And like I said, I should be able to do a giveaway. So once I publish this video, we'll see. Maybe I'll add something in the bottom, or I'll just do a giveaway video. But they're great folks. They're taking care of me. They'll take care of you too. So Superclean, hoorah. All right. If you're enjoying my videos, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.